Well, good morning everyone. It's a very cold morning here in Winton, all rugged up with my Mighty Car Mods cup. It's been a minute since we've been to Winton. I just kind of missed that on the races here. I've been doing a lot of Phillip Island and I've missed all the Sandown races because I'm running the old suspension, which I found out yesterday I can actually run the new suspension, the old suspension in the Vic State Series, which I was told originally I couldn't. Nobody emailed me, nobody told me, so I've been sitting these events out all sad and found out I could have been there the whole time. So that's a real bummer, but what do you do, huh? Anyway, let's get past all that. We're here today. We're here for the AMRS, Australian Motor Racing Series, or whatever the hell the acronym stands for. And I'm pretty excited to get back to Winton, because you remember this was my first place I've raced. And I've done a lot of track days here, but I haven't been here in a year and a half, 2 years maybe. So yeah, I got to try and remember how to race the place. It's looking good. We're hoping the rain's going to hold off for us, because who bloody knows, but it's looking pretty good. Tomorrow might be a bit wet. Anyway, we've got qualifying today, we've got 2 races today, and then we've got another 2 races tomorrow. So it's a pretty good weekend of motorsport. Anyway, let's go and do our driver briefing, get told off for stuff we haven't done yet, and then get stuck into it. Here we are. Here's the Nug. The Nug is good. Oh, Dallas is getting in my shot. Come on, Dallas. Yeah, I haven't done much to the car really. We put some new brake pads in it, so we've got the new WinMax 5, which hopefully should be a good balance, because the 4s are a bit soft and the 6.5s I don't have enough skill for. Get the car full scrub and yeah, new oil, new filters, all that stuff, so it should be good. Anyway, we've got qualifying coming up, so I'm going to get into my nice cold race suit and we'll go do this thing. Weather's looking good at the moment. Alrighty, we're sitting on the dummy grid. Always the most nerve-wracking time. Thinking about everything I may or may not have done up, nuts and bolts wise. It's horrible. Track's, well, the ground's a bit damp. I don't know about the track. I think the track's dried up a bit. We'll see what happens. Both grids, so we've got the Masters and the Trophy, which is the older blokes and the younger blokes. I'm on the cusp, I'm in the middle at the moment, but I'm still in the younger bloke class. We're all going out and qualifying together, so it's quite a lot of cars out on this fairly small track together, which is a bit daunting. So I'm just hoping I don't get lapped or get in the way of the faster blokes who are racing the cheap stations. But anyway, if I can just get down a couple of decent laps. I do know the track, but I just haven't been here in a long time, so anyway, no point talking about it, just gonna send it. So there's not a whole heap I really need to say about the qualifying. It was a long time since I've been in the car, sort of 5 months I think it was. And you do get pretty rusty if you're not in the car regularly, especially I'm just driving peak hour traffic in an auto, so don't even drive a manual day to day at the moment. But yeah, I went out there and with both grids around, I was pretty much just letting people go past. I got a couple of clean laps, but you know, I really sort of hadn't found my pace yet. So anyway, that's what it was. go. Qualifying is over. I haven't checked yet to see where I came. Didn't feel that great. Felt like I was in, there's a lot of fast guys out there and I just got out their way and I got a few clean laps, but yeah, just, I don't know, car felt a bit squirrely. I just checked my tyre pressures. I had a bit too much pressure in there, so that sucks. But anyway, we'll, I've tweaked the pressures now and I might just check my alignment and maybe just soften the back up a little bit in the car, but yeah, here's what it is. I'm see what place I came in qualifying. I got some friends here. G'day mate. G'day mate. Kevy's back from Africa. Joined a tribe over there. It's very cool. Ryan's here. He lives in the country now, so he doesn't come and race with us anymore. That sucks. But you know, yeah, it's too far, man. I get it. I get it. Now I need to show my no. I was going to show you my qualifying times, but I'm not going to because they're terrible. It did not work out well. I was somewhere in the back. I'm like 4th or 5th from the back. It's terrible. So anyway, hopefully I get myself together, figure out what's going on. My alignment was out in the back. Tyre pressures are too high. I'm going to blame everything. But yeah, we've tweaked the car, so now I think I've just got to go out there and send it and get my shit together. So yeah, and we'll walk around and show you some of these other fancy cars because there's some wicked cars. So after this race, we'll go with a fancy camera and go look at some cars because there's some cool stuff here. So we'll do that later. All right, here we go. Race 1. Alrighty, so we're lined up. Looks like I'm 3rd from the back. Terrible. We'll see how we go, see if we can find some pace and move to the grid. Hopefully not lose any more spots. Race 1 went as it usually does when I haven't been in the car for a while. I somewhat forget how to drive, and also I give a lot of room and don't get aggressive. That's pretty standard, you know, like you see at my Phillip Island races. I get better as the weekend goes on, get a bit more aggressive and learn to trust the other drivers around me. But yeah, this was an eye-opener as we sort of went around here. We're like, okay, first lap, I'm sticking with everyone. And you'll see as this lap progresses, everyone slowly clears off of me, and I realise I just don't have the pace I thought I would. Now, this is very much me as a driver, lacking. Now, before everyone comes and messages me about this, yes, I know I'm using 4th gear for that corner, and that was a terrible line. This is me just getting back into the rhythm. I do get better as the weekend goes on, so if you, before you go commenting and telling me exactly how to drive, check out my last lap in the last race, because that's kind of more showing as to where I am now with my lines and everything. And yes, I know I need to improve, but I can't go and do driver training every weekend. I don't have that sort of money, but I will keep progressing with my driving. But it looks here like we need to do a bit of work with the car as well and get it up to scratch. Well, that was a race I'd probably rather forget. Yeah, I just don't have pace. I don't know what's going on. I'm not any slower, so I'm very close to my PB for this track. Everybody else has gotten way quicker. Like the mid pack is sitting around 144 mark. I'm sitting around 146, and the front runners are on 141, which is insane. So everybody's kind of got their shit together. It's going really quick. It's disheartening because in Phillip Island I was sort of mid-pack and having fun, and in this, you know, they cleared off. I had a little bit of a battle, but then they all cleared off from me, and I'm just driving around by myself, which is boring as hell. I don't want to do that. I want to be involved. So I don't know. I've had a bit of a tweak, but yeah, I don't know. I guess it's me. It's a bit disheartening. I'm usually pretty upbeat about all this stuff, but I don't want to be up the back and not involved. It sucks. So anyway, try and find some time. Alrighty, race 2. So we'll see how we go in this. I'm not holding high hopes. I had a chat to Adam Macro, and he said that Super Shocks definitely favour this track, because I was wondering why I'm doing okay at Phillip Island but terrible here. And he reckons the MCAs are great at the island, but those new Super Shocks are fantastic at Winton. The tighter track and the surface. And he said there's a second or two in the shocks easily, which makes me feel a little bit better, because there's definitely people on track today that I have been the same speed as, and they're walking away from me. I know I just sound like another race car driver making excuses, but I'm a bit frustrated because, yeah, if you watch my last couple of videos, I'm not up the front, I'm not winning, but I'm definitely in the pack fighting, and I'm not in the pack fighting right now, and it sucks. It's not enjoyable. It feels like track day at the moment. So anyway, we'll go out, and I made a few tweaks to the car, but I think running on this suspension, I'm not going to get too far, so it is what it is. Alrighty, so race 2, and things went pretty similarly on the start. So even though I get off the line pretty well, I definitely give way too much room. Good old mate tucking up the inside there, and yeah, I just kind of let him go. He's obviously a lot faster than me. But yeah. That's fine. I mean, my starts are usually pretty bad, and then I kind of claw my way back a few spots, but yeah, not this weekend. Also, please don't message me about being in 4th gear there. I don't do it later in the weekend, I promise. So even though I am off pace, it really isn't by much. So I think with obviously driver training is number 1, but also bringing the car up to scratch with you know, suspension and a bit of an engine refurb and stuff like that, I will get back in the pack. Because you can see, I mean, the field's just there. They are crawling away from me, but I think with, yeah, a combination of things, we'll get back into it. Guy is all tucked away for the night. Race 2 is done. Look, I'm gonna go back to the hotel, I'm gonna have a couple of beers, and try again tomorrow, huh? That's what we can do. Alrighty, it's a new day. I just got to the track. They've already got these crazy, I don't know what this class is. It's V8s of all sorts of different types. It's really cool, but there's an RX-7 in there, and yeah, some really rad stuff. And also Cameron, who I met yesterday, lovely guy, he's got a XR8 with a barrow in it, and it's all stock except for some fettling. And he's got it down to actually cams. It's the only cams logbooked barrow engine in Australia, apparently, so that's really cool. We had a bit of a chat to him. I'll try and get some footage of his car later, but he's a really nice guy, and he's going around at the moment, and it sounds freaking awesome. He's battling with a very rambunctious RX-7 right now, so I'll try to talk over all this. I had some really good people reach out to me last night and talk to me about setup in my car. My might be a lost cause. Okay, I found somewhere a little quieter. So I had some really nice people reach out to me last night and talk to me about some setup on the car. Consensus is from the majority of people, not all, there's a few who don't agree, that the Super Shock for my ability level is a bit quicker. I mean, you put a good driver in a car, they're going to be able to pedal anything up to some really good lap times. But there's obviously proof that the MCA can do amazing things on track. So I've been given some ideas, some things to play with, some toe adjustments, some tyre pressures, some other tweaks and things on the car. So I'm going to go and do that now. Look, I'm at the back, so I may as well just throw everything at it. If it doesn't work, I'm still going to be at the back, so there's no real difference. I'm just going to treat today as basically a glorified track day. I'm obviously not competitive, so I'm just going to concentrate on my driving, concentrate on just tweaking the car and seeing what I can get out of it. I did watch the onboard footage from a couple of the front runners from GMAC who won the Masters class yesterday. And good news is I'm on the same lines. The only thing I'm not doing is I'm shifting down to second on the last two corners and he's staying in third. Other than that, we're pretty similar. He's diving a bit harder under brakes due to his skill level. I'm going to try and do that today. I'm going to try and dive a little harder and do a bit of trail braking. But other than that, my lines are pretty good. So I'm happy with that. At least I'm on the right track. Anyway, enough chatting. Let's go do this. Alrighty, so we're lining up in the dummy grid. As I said, I've just thrown a bunch of different settings at the car. Sorry for being a negative grump yesterday. I feel like I'm a pretty positive person, but I was just a bit bummed. It's been a long time since I've raced and I really just wanted to go and race other people and not sit at the back, so it's all good. I'm gonna push my driving. I've studied videos. I'm gonna see where I can make up some time for me. We're throwing a bunch of settings at the car, and worst case scenario, I'm still at the back if it doesn't work. If it does work, maybe I'll get a new PB. So let's aim for a new PB today. I don't think I'm going to be competitive, but the least I can do is have some fun and try and improve my times. I think for myself and for other drivers, especially newbies, it's really important to remember that we are out racing on a national circuit like Winton. V8 Supercars race here. That is a very cool thing, so something I try to keep in mind. I'm at the back, but this is still very cool. You watch young Master Kelly boot up the inside there. Man. He and that car are a rocket, because I got a fairly good start then and he just blazed past me like I was standing still. He's a quick driver and that is a well-developed car. By the way, how cool are 360 cams? So sick. Once again, gave way too much room. I really should have been able to close the door on a lot of these people. But yeah, just let him go. I think knowing I'm not very quick, I just kind of figure what's the point in fighting until I've got extra pace, you know, I'm just holding them up. So yeah, I had a little bit of a fight here, but in the end just shut off, let him go past, tuck him behind him, and then I can follow his lines and learn from people who are better than me. For those of you not familiar with Winton, this section is called the boobs. Because if you notice, that was a right-hander, and then we've got a left-hander here, which we named the cleavage, and then we've got another right-hander. If you look at a map of Winton, it looks like some boobs. So you'll hear drivers in the paddock talking about struggling around the boobs or not having pace. That's what they're talking about. It's not as dirty as you think. Oh, sweet gear change, Matt. That's a bit of a sucky one there because you're in second and you're on the ripple strip as you've got to change to third and all the linkages are flopping around and yeah, often it doesn't want to go into gear. It's the only corner I find I have trouble with, just being on the ripples there. You'll also notice I'm now taking these last 2 corners in third, which is what all the front runners are doing. So I do need to carry more speed around there. I'm aware of that, but I did get better as the day went on and managed to carry a bit more pace. Alrighty, so race 1 done. Yeah, I felt like I kept up a little bit better then, but not much better. Over the start, predictably, Kelly got me. I mean, he's an incredible driver and that car's a rocket, so he was gone. Had a little bit of a battle with a couple other guys, but then I think they were DNFs from yesterday, so they're actually sort of front runners who DNF'd and then ended up being at the back. I kind of got my groove on, like they got away from me a little bit at the start, and then I seemed to keep that distance later on in the race, so I don't know. Anyway, the car felt better. I felt like I had more grip. I'm not going much faster. I'm consistently hitting like my PBs every lap, so I'm, if nothing but consistent. Yeah, I don't know. We'll keep tweaking, keep going. Hi guys, I'm here with Cam. So I've had a pretty average weekend, but you're doing alright.
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
So we've got his XR8 here with a Barra engine in it. Tell us about that. It's the only...
Yeah, it's the only CAMS compliant turbo Barra in Australia.
That's cool.
We run in sports sedans.
Yep.
I also run in.
Yep.
You've got to run a 3.5 litre.
Okay.
And with the turbo multiplication, it brings it to 5.9
Yeah, okay.
6 litre capacity.
That's awesome.
It's the only one that I know of that's running around at the moment. So.
That's really cool. So anyone who watches Street Machine that I film, we love Barras there. So it's very cool to see one, and it sounds great. It looks cool on track. So it's awesome.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, and the car looks great. It's running fairly well today. You're saying a little bit of understeer.
Yeah, a little bit of understeer in there, trying to get the start right. Bit of PB on Friday practice.
Okay, what'd you get?
30.6.
Yeah.
So,
that's close to supercar speed, isn't it?
no, they're 20s.
Oh, okay.
They're another 10 seconds above that.
Still, that's not bad though.
Yeah, so did a 31 in that race, so
yep.
a lot better. So we'll just keep tweaking it and
that's
see if
awesome.
we can get it right.
No, that's cool. Cool. Cam actually came and said hello because he watches the channel. God knows why. I mean, why would you be watching XLs when you got something like this?
No, I've been watching the whole build. Every
That's really nice, man.
It's great.
Appreciate it. Some Muppet photographer building a car. So. That's cool. We'll try and get some footage of Cam out in the next race. You got another one?
I do,
yeah. Yeah, cool. Before I nick off, yeah. All right.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Coming up the prison. So get the tail run out of the
Alrighty, time for the last race. I've done a bit more tweaking, not expecting anything, but we'll go out and try and get some better times. See what happens. There's some cool open wheelers out on the track at the moment. Now, I really want to drive an open wheeler one day. Anyway, go do this race, see what happens. Okay, race 4. I spoke to Adam Macro and sort of asked for a bit of advice, and he helped me a little bit with setup and yeah, tweaked the suspension a bit, and yeah, the car felt a little more planted, which is good. So yeah, still a pretty average start as it's kind of my signature move now. But yeah, I was just concentrating on my own driving and trying to get a PB on this run. obviously we're not going to show the whole race because it's me at the back, it's a bit boring, there's no real battles. But the yellow car in front there, Lyne I think he is, I managed to stick pretty close to him for the whole race. Like he did clear off of me, but I was definitely staying a lot closer with my better lap times and concentrating on driving, so that shows improvement. It's only a little thing, but it's there. So I have put in my fastest lap. I believe this is it now. Basically just the whole lap of my quickest lap of the day. You can tell my lines are definitely a lot better, my gear changes are better, and I'm not scrubbing off as much speed into the corners. So still a long way to go, but this was a PB. It's about a second quicker than all my other lap times for the weekend, and about 0.7 or 0.8 quicker than my actual PB at the track. So I'll take that as a win. Got to enjoy the little wins. And there we go, we come to the end of another video and another race meet. As I said, I don't like to be a negative Nancy, but this wasn't my weekend. I'm lacking in speed, everyone else has upped their game. I'm still remaining the same speed-wise, but everyone else has just gotten really good. A little bit in the car, a little bit in driver development, I don't know, but yeah, look, we'll get there. Just chatted to some lovely guys from New South Wales here, and we're talking about, you know, engine build prices, and he's like, you really got to build an engine. But you know, to get an engine built is 10 grand for one of these things. So I'm not joking. That's how much it costs. So I've got that second engine. I think I'm going to build that myself. I'll send the head off and get that done to spec, and then you know, clean it up, new rings, new bearings, whatever it needs, and hopefully that'll give me a little bit more horsepower. You know, this has got 240,000 K on it. It's a wrecker engine, so it's gone well, and it's good at tracks like the Island where you don't need that acceleration out of tight corners. But here, where you stop, start, it just doesn't have the power to keep up on acceleration. So yeah, look, lots of things to think about, lots of development, but lots of money. You know, people are throwing 10s, 20s, 30s, 60,000 at these cars. I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. This isn't a priority for me. I love doing it, but it's supposed to be grassroots and fun, and yeah, that's not grassroots money. So we'll save up, we'll get the new shocks. I want to get some new tyres and get them buffed, because there's a bit of time in that apparently from everyone I've spoken to. They said they're amazing. And we'll look at building this engine. So bit to develop, but look, hey, I'm out here racing, I'm out here having fun, and even though I was at the back, which I was a bit bummed about, I was still on a racetrack and wasn't just sitting on a couch eating Doritos. So not a bad race weekend. Just quick thanks to everybody who came and said hello and said they watched the videos. It's amazing. I mean, I don't look at the stats or anything anymore, and I'm not making a lot of videos lately. I will try to change that. So yeah, thanks, I appreciate that, guys. It's really nice, and hopefully it's helped you even just learn from my mistakes, if nothing else. So cool. Anyway, check back, we've got some cool events coming up. We've got our trip to WA, we've got our 6-hour regularity, all sorts of fun stuff, and hopefully we'll do some development on the car too. So check back, thanks for watching, thanks to everybody on the weekend, all the people I chatted to, you're all legends, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.